You're tuned in to Maroon TV News.
Hello, and welcome to Maroon TV News for the week of November 12th.
I'm Natalia Summy.
And I'm Taylor Schwimmer, filling in for Alex Soteropoulos.
And now for this week's top news. The University of Chicago Library this week received an $83,000 grant from the British Library's Endangered Archives program to digitize and preserve 60 rare Urdu language periodicals. The digitization will take place at the university's Mushfiq Khawaja Library and Research Center in Karachi, Pakistan, and will be made available to scholars through UChicago's library, allowing access to important Urdu periodicals from the 19th and 20th centuries.
On Tuesday, a 14-year-old girl was sexually assaulted in a brazen attack. The assault took place around 10:30 a.m. at 52nd Street in Berkeley, right around the corner from President Barack Obama's house. The girl was approached from behind and forced between two parking garages. Police are seeking help finding the attacker and are asking anyone with information to step forward.
This week, Chicago mourned the loss of Herbie Johnson, a 30-year veteran of the Chicago Fire Department who died battling a blaze in the Gage Park neighborhood on the southwest side. Herbie suffered third-degree burns battling the extra alarm house fire and was brought to the University of Chicago Hospital where he ultimately succumbed to his injuries. His funeral was held Thursday and was attended by hundreds of people, including Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Firefighters from as far away as Canada and New York came to pay their respects. Johnson was praised as a warm and invaluable part of the Chicago Fire Department.
Maroon TV's Facebook page is the source for all of Maroon TV's latest happenings. Visit www.facebook.com/MaroonTV. Now back to Maroon TV News.
Students gathered in the Reynolds Club on election night to watch the results. Maroon TV was on the scene. Here's Ryan McNamara with the full story.
Pure jubilation. After waiting for months, President Barack Obama's re-election sets off a moment of euphoria at the UChicago Democratic viewing party. Ben Webb joined hundreds of Obama supporters at the hallowed grounds last Tuesday night, hoping to see the president come out with a victory.
What are you feeling right now? I'm ecstatic, man. I'm excited. Joy levels are up high.
As the Democrats celebrate another 4 years of President Obama, downstairs, the Republican viewing party has already moved on.
Kind of upset, but I mean, it's the political process, and we have to so we're looking forward to get part of the team.
The candidates were nearly dead even in popular and electoral votes through the first several hours of returns. UChicago Republicans President Jacob Urbanowitz took this as a good sign.
Right now, our paths to 270 electoral votes are still intact, so I'm cautiously optimistic, but certainly it's not going to be a landslide election.
Despite the closeness of the early returns, Democrats remained confident.
Well, I think that Obama's gonna eke it out. I think he's gonna make it in Ohio. Florida's still up in the air, but I think Obama's gonna make it there, even though there might be a recount. But yeah, I think Obama's gonna make it. I think the Senate's gonna be Democrat held, but the House is still gonna be Republican.
Although the Democrats had more to be happy about last Tuesday, Election Day was an exciting time for many students voting in their first election.
So why are you excited about Obama?
I don't know, I just this time around I just started thinking more consciously what it means to be a young woman in the US and what that would mean and as I'm getting older and kind of who would be looking out for me, not just as racial but as a woman. So yeah, and I feel he's got my back.
Just as they were 4 years ago, young voters were a strong force behind President Obama. The president captured 60% of all votes cast by voters under the age of 30. Third-year Vita Sikowski is encouraged by the growing numbers of young voters and hopes the trend continues.
I think it's really important to continue the level of young voter engagement that we had back in 2008, and I feel a lot of people here are energized and excited, and I'm really glad to see it, and hopefully we can keep this up for every single election in the coming years.
With Maroon TV News, this is Ryan McNamara.
We now go to Sean Graff, our senior political analyst. Sean, to win an election, a presidential candidate needs to get 270 electoral votes. This election cycle, Barack Obama won 332. Mitt Romney won only 206. But going in, the Romney campaign was very confident. Why do you think this was, Sean?
So the Obama campaign was very confident because of the unemployment rate and the number of individuals who are unemployed in America. As we know, during President Obama's administration, the unemployment rate never dipped below 7.8%. In addition, on Election Day, the unemployment rate was 7.9%. Finally, the median household income fell throughout President Obama's administration.
Interesting, Sean. So, Sean, what do you think the effect of spending? This was a very expensive election. Some estimates say that $6 billion was spent. What do you think the effect spending was on the outcome of the race?
Well, we know the Supreme Court's decision in Citizens United allowed for unlimited campaign spending, and what this resulted in was the $6 billion in spending, as you mentioned. And what we saw really is that spending seemed to have no effect in this election. Despite all this money being spent, President Obama remained in the White House, the Republicans remained in control of the House of Representatives, and the Senate was retained by the Democrats who had control prior to the election.
You mentioned the House and the Senate. Now, it's my understanding that the Democrats picked up a couple of seats in the House and as well as a couple of seats in the Senate. Why did they have trouble in both of those houses?
The Republicans have trouble because of the demographics. As George Stephanopoulos of ABC News mentioned, the Republican Party is too white, too old, and too male. Really what needs to happen is the Republicans need to broaden their coalition of supporters. They need a message that has broad appeal. Obama was able to win thanks to his support among women, minorities, and moderates. Among women, President Obama was able to win 55% of the vote. Women represent 53% of the electorate. Among Latinos, President Obama was able to win 71% of the vote. This is gigantic. Previously, President Obama had won 67% of the Latino vote in 2008. And finally, among moderates, who represent the largest portion of the electorate, President Obama was able to win 56% of moderates to Governor Romney, who was only able to win 41%.
Why was winning the Latino vote so important?
Winning the Latino vote was so important to the Democrats because it greatly helped them in the swing states. If President Obama did not win the Latino vote by such a large margin, he would not have been able to win Nevada, Colorado, New Mexico, and Florida. In addition, winning the Latino vote for the Democrats is going to increase in the coming years, as we have seen so far. And what this will allow to happen is that the Democrats will be able to one day possibly win control of Texas and Arizona.
So if the Republicans want to win in the 2014 election, what changes do they need to make?
So Republicans need to appeal to Latino voters. 50,000 Latinos turn 18 in America each month, and these are all new voters for both parties to capture. Republicans have been winning a smaller and smaller percentage of the Latino vote since 2004, when George Bush won 44% of the vote. This year, Governor Romney won only 27% of the Latino vote.
And so tell us a little bit about the white vote.
Okay, so finally we're going to end with the white vote. The white vote is very interesting. For years, if you won the white vote, you would win the White House. It was guaranteed. However, this year we saw this whole idea of winning the white vote change. Previously, we saw that usually the Republicans won the white vote, but they never won it by as great as Mitt Romney did this election. Mitt Romney won 72% of the white vote. However, even this huge percentage was not enough to win the White House. What we learned from this election cycle is that you need to build a coalition of multiple demographic groups in order to win the White House.
Sean, what do you think the top issue will be for Obama in his second term?
The top issue for President Obama will certainly be the fiscal cliff, and we have already seen the Democrats and the Republicans address this issue. President Obama wants to raise taxes on those who make more than $250,000 a year. The Republicans want the tax rates for everyone in America to remain the same. Of course, if this happens, how will we address the fiscal cliff that we are about to face and the rising deficit in America? This will certainly be the most contentious issue starting out President Obama's second term in the White House.
Thank you, Sean. That was Sean Graff, senior political analyst for Maroon TV.
On Thursday night, several university students got the chance to see Skyfall, the 23rd installment to the James Bond series, the night before the official USA release date. Here's Astida Nuanavu with the full story.
I am very excited for this pre-midnight screening of Skyfall. I've been watching all the trailers, reading interviews and stuff, and I'm just very pumped for this occasion.
I'm not a James Bond fan, so this is the first one for me. So I've heard really good things about the series regardless, so I'm really excited to watch Skyfall.
I've been to a couple of midnight premieres, but I've never been to a midnight before a James Bond film. And I've heard this one's pretty good, so I'm pretty excited.
I've been playing this for a while, and I'd love to see the participation of everyone dressing up, so it's pretty great.
You guys felt like you should dress up for the occasion, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is James Bond.
I got into Bond, I think, right around high school, during some of the older films, but I must admit, though, I am writing most of it.
Celia and I are being our own circle of
So I am somewhat new to some.
This is actually only my second Bond film that I've ever seen. I haven't really gotten into the series, but I'm really excited to see this.
A new student initiative to promote environmentally friendly practices among campus Greek organizations was recently founded. Alex Soteropoulos caught up with the founders of the organization to check on their progress.
Every weekend, students across the country throw away tons of material that could have been recycled, and they didn't even know it. However, one new student group at the University of Chicago has attempted to change this. Greeks Go Green, since its inception in the winter of 2012, has attempted to create a pilot program with fraternities so that material can be recycled at events that would have otherwise been thrown in a dumpster. Fourth year Danny Rosa noticed a problem after he joined the fraternity Delta Kappa Upsilon in the fall of 2011.
Yeah, so I joined a fraternity last year, autumn 2011, and obviously part of the fraternity culture is to have a lot of social events, and I realized that a lot of the stuff that we were consuming, namely plastic, glassware, was just going to the trash and wasn't being recycled.
So he came up with the idea of Greeks Go Green, an initiative that would allow fraternities to recycle anything from red Solo cups to glasses. With the Uncommon Fund application approaching, Rosa thought it was the prime opportunity to make his thought a reality. After making it past the first round of applications, Greeks Go Green received the second most votes in the online video portion, and Rosa was not surprised.
I'm a very social person and I know a lot of people on campus, and my partner who applied to the Uncommon Fund with me, Christy Pura, she's now working for the Office of Sustainability. She's also very involved on campus, so we just kind of asked our friends to like our page, and it also helped that I was in a fraternity and they were also able to pass it on to their friends.
The support landed Greeks Go Green $2,800 from the Uncommon Fund. However, that support didn't last long.
It doesn't seem like a lot of fraternity members are interested in recycling. It would have to be like us standing next to a recycling bin and making signs that say, recycle here, have pictures of exactly what's supposed to go into the bin.
Even with this, Greeks Go Green's partner fraternities Delta Upsilon and Psi Upsilon, according to Rosa, don't seem to have an interest. Still, Rosa believes he is up to the task at Delta Kappa Upsilon, his fraternity.
I'm realizing now that I can probably implement it in my fraternity, even though we don't have a house, we do have an apartment. So getting the recycling bags to a recycling center might be an issue, but that would be the only issue that I would encounter, because I would be able to be there and oversee everything, and I would have the full support of my brotherhood.
If Greeks Go Green is able to solve these problems, it will be able to make a quick impact on campus by changing students' recycling habits and ultimately making them more environmentally conscious. Reporting in front of Delta Upsilon, Alex Soteropoulos, Maroon TV News.
A campus entrepreneur is trying to start a business based on a new way of getting from class to class. Ryan McNamara has the full story.
Walking is a little too slow for most of us because we're really busy. But the only other option right now is riding a bike. Scooters are definitely kind of stigmatized as a child's toy, and they're, you look at it a little funny riding around on one, but I didn't let that really stop us, and now we're trying to defeat that stigma now.
Gootwine is pioneering a new way to get around campus, the scooter.
So I went to UChicago my first year with a little kid scooter like the Razors that most people have, and that I quickly broke because I'm an adult now. I learned that the tough way.
Gutwein purchased a new adult scooter online, and after his friends followed suit, they saw a potential market for this kind of child's toy.
We realized that there might be a potential market here if it was the best way to get around campus. We realized that, let's go ahead and sell these. So we reached out to a bunch of manufacturers. Some of them worked with us originally, but now all of them work with us.
The first company that Gutwein reached out to was the ever-popular scooter brand Razor. After Razor declined to supply scooters to Gutwein, he approached a smaller company called Zooter, who agreed to take a chance on Gutwein's idea. And with that, Scooterversity was born.
So we did a soft launch with them, and then we had that business model. We had some proven success. We had a website. We had something that we could approach Razor with, and then we were able to add Razor as kind of the lower end model.
The success of Scooterversity has led to other scooter manufacturers working with Gutwein. They provide scooters to his company at a lower price, which Scooterversity then resells at an affordable cost to UChicago students. The cheapest scooter, the Razor A5 Lux, goes for $80, while the most expensive scooter costs $250. Scooters are also available to rent at a lower price.
This is a market that they're not hitting right now, the manufacturers, but that we think the college students want. They just need a few lower prices. They need somebody to introduce it to them, and that's where we come in.
The college student market for scooters might have never been discovered had it not been for Gutwein's risk. The university has a long history of helping to fund RSOs or other nonprofit organizations, but up until recently they have shied away from helping students start their own business.
Originally, it was just us. With our own money. We applied to be part of the Uncommon Fund and were rejected. I think they were looking for a lot of nonprofit stuff too. So yeah, it's been kind of an uphill battle, but things are changing and we've met a lot of success. So.
Gutwein and his business partner, Lee Kuhn, started Scooterversity out of Max West and have now set their sights on the rest of Chicagoland.
Definitely want to expand our markets. We're looking at Chicago area schools, such as Northwestern, UIC, Wheaton, IIT.
Gutwein hopes that Scooterversity will begin to expand outside of UChicago as soon as next fall. For more information on Scooterversity, check out their website at scooterversity.com. With Maroon TV News, this is Ryan McNamara.
Make sure to like us on Facebook for the latest updates on news.
Thank you for joining us this week. We'll be back next week. I'm Taylor Schwimmer.
And I'm Natalia Summy.